up at all during this practice, most of it, in fact, is going to be lying down. Do make sure if you didn't grab your yoga strap, you've got that close by. So we'll go ahead and start seated, and we'll just allow ourselves to center and ground before we start moving. So please find a spot out in front of you where you can focus your eyes, or maybe you'd like to close your eyes completely, just allowing yourself to turn your focus inward. I like to take some time myself just to really check in. Just ask yourself, how am I feeling right now? Notice your physical body, all the places where it might be touching a surface around you. If you're able to, really try to sit up tall, reach the crown of your head towards the ceiling, lengthen your spine, draw your shoulders back slightly, let your chest open. Allow yourself now to start to focus in on your breath. So I encourage you to try to use your nose as you inhale. Breathe in through the nose. And exhale either through nose or mouth. And if you are feeling congested or anything like that, please just breathe however you can. Let's take about 4 to 5 more steady breaths in and out. Inhale fully when you're ready. And exhale completely out. Just take a couple more on your own. Try not to force the breath too much. Let it be, but observe it. On your next inhale, I get you to join your hands together in front of your heart-centered space this morning. We're going to pause here for just a few moments. I want you to bring to mind, why did you show up this morning? Why did you decide to take this time out of your day? What does the practice mean to you? And it can be absolutely anything. If nothing comes to mind straight away, just sit. It may come later. On your next inhale, I want you to imagine that you're sealing that intention, that goal you've set for yourself into your own body. So breathe in deep. And as you exhale, I want you to imagine that you're letting go of fears, worries, doubts, the things that hold you back from being your highest, best self. And on your exhale, let the hands come all the way back down to the lap. Just rest them there. And on your inhale, you can start to gradually open up your eyes. Just take a moment to observe how you're feeling now. And we're going to start with just some gentle neck stretches for movement today. On your next exhale, go ahead and tilt. Bring your left ear down towards the left shoulder. It may only go over a couple of inches. That's okay. Another thing you could explore here is actually turning the head. So you're drawing the chin down towards the shoulder as well. Some people enjoy alternating, just turning, bringing the ear down once, and then bringing the chin down next. On your next inhale, we're going to slowly return the head back to center, right over the neck. Exhale, this time right ear comes down towards right shoulder. And maybe you just want to stay there. Perhaps you want to try turning the head. And to see what feels good. Feel that left side of your neck. What do you notice as you're moving the head? Next inhale, let's draw the head back up to center again. This time we're going to do the front and back of the neck. So inhale, lift your chin like you almost want to point it up towards the ceiling. Feel that nice stretch along the front of your neck. And as you exhale, let the chin tuck down, almost like you want it to come towards the chest, feeling along the back side of the neck. Now do this one more time. When you're ready, inhale, let the chin lift, pointing up. And exhale, let the chin tuck down towards the chest. You're going to keep the chin here this time. We're going to make a circle. So let your left ear come back over your shoulder. Let the chin lift back up towards the ceiling. Opposite ear over opposite shoulder and chin back towards chest. Take about 3 more circles around, nice and slow. Don't rush the movement. Very nice. One more circle. And head is going to go ahead and switch the direction next time it comes up. So just go around the opposite way a few times. And one more circle. And head is back at center. When you're ready, check back in with your posture. Make sure you're still sitting tall. We're going to begin to move into some seated circles now for the whole body. So you're going to lean over with the upper body towards the left, then forward over the left slightly, all the way across to the right, and back up tall. If you can, as you come forward, exhale. Inhale to sit back up. Do about 3 more circles, taking your time going around. And last one, this direction. Next time you are upright in your seat, and you may switch, go the opposite way a few times. And we're just trying to intentionally start to help loosen up the hips, loosen up the lower back. One more time around here. Lovely, coming all the way back up nice and tall in your seat. We're going to move now onto our backs. So you can move anything off or out of your way if you're seated on your blanket. Just sit it to the side and go ahead and grab your yoga strap now. We're not going to use it right away, but I don't want you to have to get up and grab it later. So just bring it close beside you as you start to make your way down to your back. And once you are there, I want you to go ahead and lie completely flat if it's comfortable. If your lower back doesn't allow you to do that, that's okay. But I want you to stretch your legs out, stretch your arms out, just let them lay flat like you were coming into Shavasana. The reason I want you to do that this morning is because I want us to do a little check-in. So just notice how the legs feel, how the hips feel right now. Notice how the shoulders and the upper back feel. And we're going to do some movements to release and come back and notice any changes that have occurred. Now that you've had that observation time, on your next inhale, we're going to pull our right knee in towards our chest. You're going to reach around for the front of that shin or that knee. Your opposite leg can stay straight out. Or again, if your lower back tends to give you some trouble, you might want to bend that leg to take the pressure away. With this right knee pulled in, we're going to start to circle it around. I like to hold on to the leg because it just gives me a little bit more control. But it will also feel nice sometimes to just let go of the leg, let it circle around on its own. This will give you a little bit more range of motion. So, kind of try both, see what you like. When you've gone around a few times in one direction with the leg, go ahead and switch. Begin to go the opposite way. Just trying to stay mindful as you're doing these movements. It's easy to just get into going through the motions, but really pay attention. Feel into your body as you're moving. Let's let that knee come back to center now. Gonna reach back up if you let go. Bring just the right hand to the knee. And as you exhale, we're gonna let that right knee gradually start to open out towards the right side. But the key here is to not let your left hip lift off of the mat in order to open this right leg out. So imagine your left hip is glued behind you, even as you pull the right knee out. You're going to feel that stretch primarily kind of through the inner part of the hip, the inner part of the thigh, the groin area. Just take a couple breaths there. Allow the body to relax into the stretch. Great. Inhale, we're going to lift that knee, bring it back up to center. We're going to switch hands. So bring your left hand to the knee now. And as you exhale, we're going to pull this knee just slightly across. And the same thing on this side. Your right hip itself, it shouldn't be lifting. So imagine that butt cheek is glued to the mat behind you. And you're just pulling the knee slightly across. We're going to feel this, most likely, everyone's different, more so in the outer part of the hip, running along this area. This is the IT band. Just hold for a few more breaths. Great. Let's bring the knee back to where it started, back to the middle again. We're going to reach underneath the thigh now to interlace our fingers. And on your inhale, you're going to work on starting to straighten your leg, bringing the foot up. And as you exhale, we're going to let it release. We're going to bring it straight back down. Go through that about 5 times. So just inhale, work on straightening. The leg doesn't have to be all the way straight. Don't force it to be that way. And as you exhale, you can come back down. Just be gentle, be kind with your body. Just treat yourself with love. Let's do a couple more. And the next time that you have your leg up, go ahead and keep it there. I'm going to give you a few options you can do while you're here. First is just to hold. You could also try reaching further up the back of the leg to give you a deeper stretch. And one of my favorite things to do is just to hold behind the thigh, but do what's called nerve gliding, which is an inhale. You're going to try to straighten the knee slightly, and you're going to point the toes. Hopefully you can see what that looks like. And as you exhale, you'll bring a slight bend to the knee, and then you'll flex the foot, pull the toes down towards you. It's really nice just to go back and forth between those movements. Just activating the foot and the ankle as well. Okay, do one more if you are doing the nerve gliding with me. On your next exhale, let's let our right leg float all the way back down to the mat. And we're going to let it rest. It Again, if it's comfortable for you to extend both legs, take a moment to do so that you can start to build that observation again. So what does the right leg feel like compared to left side? And you'll probably notice a pretty big difference. I know that I do. Notice, feel what you've done. And when you're ready, we will move on. So this time we'll bring our left knee in towards the chest and pull it in tight. You can bend that opposite leg if you'd like. And we'll start with just our little circles, starting to warm up that area. Again, you don't have to hold on. Maybe you want to make your circles a little bit bigger. And just start to check in and just see, does this side feel the same as the other side? Do I notice anything different about it? Go ahead and switch your direction. And we often have what we usually call imbalances in our body. We're not perfectly symmetrical and we're not perfectly even, and that's okay. Bringing that knee back to center. We're going to reach back up with the left hand. As we exhale, we're going to pull the knee back out towards the left. Remember, right hip isn't going anywhere. It's staying on the mat. Breathe into this side. And as I was saying about the imbalances, sometimes we look at those things as weaknesses, and that's not necessarily the case. It may just be something we need to give more attention. And even if it is a weakness, when we are aware of it, we can work to improve it. But if we're not aware of it, we can't do anything about it. So you can always use it as a positive thing. Your inhale, let's go ahead and bring that knee back up to center and switch sides. So right hand comes up. As we exhale, we're going to pull that knee slightly across. Keep the left glute down. And again, try to target that IT bend. Sometimes if you do pull the knee further across, it can feel like a deeper stretch. And I understand that, but it's going to come more into the lower back area. And right now we're just trying to focus on targeting that IT band muscle. And inhale, knee comes back to center. We're going to reach under the leg again and release those hands. Inhale to gradually work on straightening. Leg is up. Exhale, knee bends, come back down. Take again about 4 or 5 more, just at your own pace. And notice, feel. Are you going through the motions, or are you being mindful of your motions? Okay, one more time. And next time you are lifted with your foot and your leg, and stay here if you can. Maybe walk the hands further up. Maybe do your nerve gliding. If you have something else entirely, like ankle circles or something that you'd prefer to do here instead, you're welcome to explore that. I'm just a guide. I'm pointing you towards some things you can do. But you know your body really better than anybody does. So if something feels good, feel free to use that to your advantage. We are doing the nerve gliding. We'll do one more. On your exhale, we'll allow the leg to release, bring it down, let it rest. When it's all the way back down on the mat, just sit for a moment. We don't have to rush right into the next thing. Just take a moment to pause. We don't take nearly enough time in our life just to pause and be still. How do the legs feel now? Do they feel any different to you? And we aren't done with them quite yet. We're going to give them a little bit more love. So from here, now is when you're going to need that strap. So grab whatever you're using. And if you don't have a strap handy, you could use a regular belt. You could use a scarf, anything like that. Go ahead and unwind it. We're going to start back on that right side. So pulling the right knee back in. And you're going to loop the strap around the bottom of the foot. And you want to have the placement of the strap right because it will affect you. So you want to bring it right below the toes of the foot, not on the arch of the foot, not on the heel of the foot. Another thing I like to point out is your hand placement. So I see a lot of people, they reach their hands all the way up like they want to touch their foot. And the problem I have with this is often the shoulders, the neck, they're lifting off the mat in order to be able to reach that area. Don't do that. Let your shoulders relax down. Let your head and neck relax down. We don't want to bring tension to another area while we're stretching the legs. So find a nice place with the hands. As far as your foot goes, I like to keep my foot flexed in this position, keep a slight bend in the knee. But if you'd rather maybe just explore having the toes pointed or something like that, you can. There's not necessarily one right way to do this movement. We're going to hold for about 45 seconds here. Another way to just get a little bit more out of your stretch is to also imagine you're pressing that right hip back into the mat behind you. It can be a really subtle movement, but sometimes it will give you a little bit more intensity in your stretch if that's what you're looking for. And we don't want to strain. We still want to be gentle. We do want to feel the stretch. Take a few more breaths. On your next exhale, we're going to let our legs start to open to the right. I like to bring both straps into my right hand here. It's just easier for me. You can try it and see if it works for you. So as you open the leg, just like earlier, we're not going to let that opposite hip lift. This foot that is opening, notice that I'm keeping it slightly flexed. I don't have the toes pointed out. I will generally bring my elbow down towards the floor. If you can't reach, you might want to bring a blanket or a block underneath your arm for support. Your head could stay at center, wherever it is comfortable. Take a few more breaths here. We're kind of building off of the stretches we did earlier, but we're making them a little bit more challenging as we go. Take one more nice deep breath here. Let it go. Inhale, lift your leg, bring it all the way back up. When it gets back to the top, we're gonna cross it over. So exhale, crossing over. Again, it's more of a subtle movement than you may think. And the key to really get the stretch, if you don't usually feel it, is to flex the foot. As you draw it across, you may feel a really deep stretch through this right hip, through even part of the glute. Keep the glute down. Don't let it come up. Breathe here. Inhale, leg is back to center again. And we are doing one last movement here before we let this leg have a little rest. This is going to be our spiral. So imagine with this foot that you're going to start to draw a spiral on your ceiling. And this spiral is going to start quite small. You're barely moving the leg at all. But as you start to go around and around, it's going to grow a little bit more. So take your time, and we're not going too fast. When your circle starts to get a little wider, you can start switch your direction. So when it gets as wide as you'd like to go, I want you to change the direction of the circle and gradually start to work your way all the way back in. Go just as slowly in as you did on the way out. Make your way back to where you started at. When you are back there, you can stop your circle. And from here, we'll let our left leg come all the way in, bring that up into the strap with the right leg, and allow the right leg to come down and relax. And once it's down, you can keep it bent or stretch it out. So switching over to this side, you might just want to give your hands a little break. You can stretch out the fingers, roll out the wrist if you need to. Remember, let your shoulders be down, your head and neck are completely relaxed here. We're not bringing any tension to those places at all. And whether your foot is flexed or you're more focused on pointing the toes is up to you. Just give yourself some time to just be here. Feel your body. And breathe. And are you being present in your practice, or is your mind going elsewhere right now? Can you bring yourself back here if it is? Okay, from here, we'll begin to open out to the left. So keep your foot flexed, please. And as you exhale, let the legs start to open out. Right hip stays down. Don't be surprised if you can't open as far on one side as you did on the other. You don't have to match the two sides. If in your own personal practice, if you do have an imbalance, you may want to just take a little extra time on that side when you have a chance and give it a little extra love if it needs it. Just breathe here. Inhale, we're going to let our leg lift, bring it back up. And exhale to take it just slightly across. Remember to keep your foot flexed. So that means pulling the toes in if you're not sure. And it may just be 6 inches across. It may feel like you're barely moving it at all, and you're already feeling a significant stretch. But if you're not, you can draw it just slightly further over. Remember your breath. Good job, guys. Let's bring our leg back to center again. Hold here. We're almost done, but we've got to do our circles, our spirals. So when you're ready, you may begin circling that leg around. Starting small, growing outward. When you do get to a nice wide point of your circle where you feel like that's as far as you'd like to go today, start to change the direction. Go the opposite way. Work your way all the way back to where you began. And once there, pausing, and go ahead and reach up for your strap. Take the strap off the foot, sit it off to the side, just get it out of your way. Stretch your legs back out one more time, arms can rest, and just take it in. Does your body feel any different? I feel like my legs are 3 inches longer. I don't know about y'all. So from here, we're going to move to shoulders. We're about halfway through class, so you can bend your knees again. And I'll ask you to roll over onto one side. And this is where you might want to have some sort of padding under your head and neck. So I'm going to grab a blanket. You're welcome to too. And we're going to have our arms right out in front of our chest. This is one of my absolute favorite sequences to do in a class. And this is a somatic sequence. We're going to be doing some small movements for the most part, but we're going to do them several times. We're going to repeat about 10 times to allow the body to release gradually. So we'll start with the smallest movement. It's called our palm slide. On your inhale, you're going to slide your top hand up until it just comes up to that bottom hand's wrist. And then as you exhale, you're going to slide the hand right back down. And as I said, we'll do this for about 10 repetitions. So inhale, slide up. Exhale, slide down. I want you to try your best to remain aware. Notice even the feeling of your hand brushing against your own skin. And let your touch be kind. Touch your own hand as if you were touching someone's hand that you love. Treat yourself with that same kindness. Okay, just do a few more here. Just noticing you feel that shoulder as it's moving. Maybe you're more focused just on the hands. If you pay attention, that whole arm is engaging and moving. Okay, next time that the hands are back together, we're going to increase to what I call the arm slide. So you're just going to slide all the way up the arm this time. Come across your collarbones, the very top of the chest, and then open out to the other side. Up to you if you want to turn your head. Exhale, let the hand travel across the chest again, all the way back down until it touches the hand. Keep going slowly. Inhale to open. Exhale, take your time back down. I like to mention in class that this is also called the heart-line meridian. So in Chinese medicine and some more Eastern type practices, they believe that this area where we're kind of brushing the hand across the chest is very connected to the heart. not just only in a physical way, but also in an emotional or spiritual way. So you can find during these practices that sometimes you may have some feelings, some emotions arise. That's okay. Let yourself feel it and let the feeling pass. Don't get caught up in it or stuck in it for too long. Know that this is a safe space to feel what you're feeling. I'll just do a couple more of these arm tracing. And the next time you bring your hands back together, just pause for a second, let your shoulder relax. And the next movement we're going to do is something I call sunrise arms. So for this one, on your inhale, you're going to pick up your top hand away from the bottom one, start to reach it up and above your chest. The thing here is you really kind of want it to really extend the arm slightly. You don't have to exert a lot of effort, but reach up like you're really reaching for something above you. And then allow the arm to open up. Same thing on the way back. So inhale, you're lifting up, you're reaching through the fingertips, and you're allowing the hand to draw all the way back down. Take your time. Inhale, draw and reach up. Exhale down. And even though maybe it doesn't feel like this should be a really tiresome movement, you're exerting more effort than you probably realize. Let's take a few more. And last two. You may let the hands come back together again. And just take some time just to pause, let that shoulder relax. We're going to do one last movement on this side. Some of you might want to stay right where you are. I personally feel more comfortable when I let the blanket go on this one. Just move it to the side for a second. I like to bring the bottom arm underneath. Just a personal preference. It doesn't matter for you if you would rather keep the blanket there. Your top arm is still going to stay out in front. Your top leg is going to stretch out and it's going to lift away from the bottom leg. This is called your clock. So as you inhale, your arm is going to reach up and overhead like it's reaching for 12 o'clock. And your leg is going to kick slightly forward in front of you. Your arm is going to reach back in front of the chest again, and the leg is going to come slightly back behind you. Inhale again, arm reaches up, leg comes forward, and switch. And so again, we're focusing mainly on the shoulder, but reaching overhead. And we're also tying in our hip and our glute again. Coming back to that area, providing some strength and mobility. You do one more on your own. Very nice. Arm can reach back around, rest it down. Let your leg rest. Take a breath. And from here, take your time, roll over all the way to your opposite side, and we will repeat it all again on the other side. Grab your blanket again if you moved it. Get comfy. Arms will stretch back out in front. Palms start stacked on top of each other. When you're ready, we'll start with just the palm slide. Inhale, slide up, touch the bottom wrist. Exhale down. And take time to be with this side. Does it feel the same as the other? Does it feel different? And don't ask that in a judgmental way, as if one side is better than the other, but just so you can learn about yourself, to learn what your body needs. And so you can be the best version of yourself. Just a few more up and down. Remember, inhale as you slide up. Exhale as you come down. Last time. Great. We're going to increase for this one to that full arm slide. So trace the hand all the way up, over the arm, across the collarbones, out to the other side. Exhale, bring the hand back across and all the way down. And again, just gently touching. Tracing over the heart, opening. Exhale, follow that path back to where you started. So hopefully you're already starting to feel more calm as we go through this practice. This really works with what's called your parasympathetic nervous system. We all know, for the most part, we have that fight or flight response. That's our sympathetic nervous system. But we also have part of our nervous system that helps us feel relaxed, at ease, and calm. And that is the part that we're activating right now through these gentle, repetitive movements. By kind of tuning in to our breath, we're able to access that place. And it can be very, very powerful. They call it the rest and the digest phase or feeling. So next time hands are back together, we will again change, this time to our sunrise arms. So inhale, we're gonna lift that hand up. You reach the fingertips up and then out to the other side. I sometimes, when I'm in more of a visualization type of mood, will picture as I'm reaching the arms up, I'll imagine the sunrise in my mind. Just see the colors. And as I exhale, I'll imagine the sunset and what those colors might look like. And sometimes that can be a really, really soothing and relaxing practice too. Feel free to give it a try if you'd like. Visualization can be really powerful as well. They've shown studies that, for example, maybe there was a stroke patient and they couldn't move one side of their body, but they were able to visualize moving that part as they were moving the other side. And they found that that will actually help bring range of motion back to that side, bring movement back. And that is the power of the mind-body connection. And that's just amazing to me. One more here. Next time the hands are back together, just pausing. If you want to adjust your blanket at this time for your somatic clock, you can move that if you want. Bottom arm can come underneath. Top arm still stretches out, top leg stretches out too. When you're ready, inhale, that top arm reaches to 12 o'clock. Leg kicks forward. Exhale, arm reaches back around, leg kicks back. Continue to move with breath. Take a few more around. And last time. You may bring the arm back to the front, rest it down, rest your top leg back down. You may roll back to your back here. Hopefully you'll pretty much be back in that same position you were when I asked you to lie down the first time in class, because this is where we're gonna do our check-in again. So legs stretched back out, arms stretched back out, eyes can close. And just observe, do you feel any different? Your answer may not be yes, and that's okay. But perhaps it is. Perhaps the shoulders feel more connected to the ground. Maybe the hips and feet feel a little bit looser. Just take it all in for a moment. You're welcome to just stay right here in this position for the remainder of class. We're going to go right into a relaxation and meditation from this place. But feel free if you need to make any adjustments. You want to put a blanket over yourself, put socks on, even just adjust your lighting in the room that you're in. Go ahead and take a moment or so to do that now. And I'm going to get set up for our meditation practice. Please feel free to close your eyes if they're not already closed, or to refocus them out in front of you. We're going to have about 10 or 11 minutes for this relaxation. We're going to go through a body scan, a tense and release practice first of all. And then we're also going to incorporate a loving kindness practice at the end. So hopefully it will just be all around a feel good practice. For our tense and release, I sometimes will start from the feet and work our way up. We're going to do the opposite of that today. We're going to start with face and then work our way all the way down. So just begin to bring your attention and your awareness to the very end of your nose, the center of your face. On your next inhale, let your eyes and your lips squeeze towards your nose, making a really tight face. It might feel like a prune. Just squish it all together. Hold that face. And then as you exhale, just completely relax the face. Let it go. Let it be at ease. Let your attention now be drawn towards your shoulders. Your next inhale, begin to squeeze your shoulders up, almost like you want them to touch your ears. And exhale. Let your shoulders relax back down. Let's stay with your shoulders. This time on your inhale, press your shoulders back behind you into the mat. Squeeze and exhale. Relax and release the shoulders again. Now let your awareness move down to both of your arms and your hands. Inhale, lift both arms and hands away from the floor and squeeze the hands tightly. Make fist with the hands. Exhale, drop the arms back down. Release the fist and give the arms a little roll. Let them relax wherever they would like to. Awareness now moves to your chest, your lungs. Your next inhale, try to take in a nice deep breath, expanding the chest area, filling it up with air. And exhale. Let the breath go. Awareness moves down, now to your belly, your abdomen. Next, inhale again, a deep breath in. This time focus on using your diaphragm, expanding the breath so the belly feels like it's almost expanding too. And big exhale when you're ready. Release the breath out. Your awareness now moves to your hips and your buttocks. On your next inhale, squeezing your buttocks muscles, hold them tight. And exhale. Just relax the hips. Awareness will now come down to your legs. On your next inhale, point your toes away from you. So stretch them out away. Hold that. And exhale, release the feet. Staying with the feet a little longer. This time on your next inhale, flex the feet. So pull the toes towards the shin. Hold there. And exhale. Relax the feet and the legs. Go ahead and give the legs and feet a little roll or a shake from side to side. Just encourage them to be comfortable. Please make any other adjustments you might need for your body at this time. The next 5 or 6 minutes, we'll be doing our guided loving kindness meditation. Just want you to be as comfortable as possible so you can really focus on that practice. Let your attention now be guided back to your breath. Just take note of your natural breath as it comes in and out of your body. Just remember that at any time you get off track, you find yourself lost in thought, your breath is a reminder of the present moment. It can bring us back to the now. We'll start to go into our loving kindness practice now. I'm going to be saying a few phrases out loud for you to repeat back to yourself silently. So first of all, you're going to offer these 4 phrases to yourself. So saying in your head to you. May I be happy. May I be healthy. May I find peace. And may I be filled with love and kindness. Now taking that love that is now in yourself and letting it overflow. Bring to mind someone else that you really care about, that you would like to offer those things to. When you have whomever in your mind, offering to them. May they be happy. May they be healthy. May they find peace. And may they be filled with love and kindness. And that love and kindness, it just keeps on growing, keeps on spreading. So now bring to mind a larger group of people, maybe your family, a group of friends, a cause that you love, and offering to them now. May they all be happy. May they all be healthy. May they all find peace. May they all be filled with love and kindness. And love doesn't stop, not even there. So lastly, bring to mind a person that you may not always get along with. You may have some challenges with this person at times, but regardless, you still care, still want the best for them. And we're going to offer even to this person, because that's the power of love. It knows no bounds. So offering to them. May they be happy. May they be healthy. May they find peace. And may they be filled with love and kindness. I'll just take a few moments to sit with that love and kindness that you have intentionally shared with yourself and with others. Just feel it in your own body. And it's okay if you have some feelings and thoughts that have arisen for you. Try your best not to get wrapped up in it, to not identify yourself as those things. Just come back to yourself now. Breathe in. Breathe out. Just take another minute or so here just to be quiet, to be still. Just to watch your thoughts as they come, as they go. You're ready. Start to bring a little bit of movement back in. Stretch out fingers, toes, arms, legs. Stay on your back if you'd like to, or roll over. Begin to take your time. There's not a huge hurry, but when you feel that your time and your practice is over, you can come back to a comfortable seat so that we can close out together. You're back in your seat, joining hands back at our heart. Taking one more deep breath in, filling our lungs, filling our bodies. And exhale, letting go. And bow your head towards your hands, just thanking yourself for being here this morning. The light in me honors the light in each of you. I hope you enjoyed the practice.